Hello and welcome to another edition of Arlene's Book Club Book Reviews. My name is Zing and today I'm going to be talking to you about the second book of the Outlander series, Dragonfly in Amber by Diana Gabaldon. So when I finished Outlander, I was really excited to get on to the second book, and really it was a good read. But before we get into the review and all that, I just want to let you know I'm going to do a quick synopsis of Dragonfly in Amber, and then I'll give you my recommendation as usual. So we end with Outlander, with Jamie just recovering in the abbey, and then we find out that Claire's pregnant, and then they decide to actually go to France and stop the uprising of 1745 and the battle at Culloden Moor. So when I started reading this, I was actually really confused because I was like, oh, it's going to get right back into the storyline, and basically it started off with the present time, and it's about Claire and her daughter Brianna. And they are in 1968, and they're in Scotland. So you find that Claire's there to tell Brianna the whole story about her father Jamie, and in order to do that, she wanted to present it in a way that her daughter would be able to sort of absorb the truth, because it's really fantastic. So this book really just concentrates on the story from when Claire and Jamie go to Paris, and then they actually end up going back to Scotland as well right after that. So there's stuff, it's mainly about that journey and how they try to stop the uprising and of 1745. So it does center, there's two plot lines. So one is them, that with Claire and Jamie in that time, and there's also the present times. It's about Brianna, being told the truth, and how with the help of Roger Wakefield, he actually was in Outlander when he was 5, and Claire had met him then. So the bit that really got me really interested and excited was the part that says about Craignadoon. So it says here, no one knows the function or the purpose of the stones except me. So, I was like, wow, we're going to find out, the purpose of the stones. And so that was a really good, good prologue. But then when I first started reading it, I did find that it was a bit slow. The part with Claire and Brianna in Scotland, and her trying to explain to Brianna the story of her and Jamie, and that Jamie's her real father. So that part for me was a bit slow. I wasn't really up for that. I just wanted to find out the story between Claire and Jamie from book 1 and the continuation. So that didn't happen, but I guess it was necessary, and you do need to know that it makes sense in the end, but we have 71 pages of that, and I just felt that it was a bit too long. And with a book this size, it is a hefty book. It's another hefty book of 743 pages. So I would have preferred that there was less on that and more of the rest of the story. So so that was one of the things I didn't like. Now, the second book is a really good read. It's not as good as the first one, Outlander, but I still think I gave this 4.5 stars out of 5, and the reason being is that the characters here are more developed, and so we do see more of Jamie, which I love his character, and you see him more as businessman, and there's a lot of intrigue and lies and deception, and there's a lot more plot like themes going on, and you know, set in France, so the whole environment is different from book one, where it's mainly in Scotland. So this is definitely a good read. Now also I liked Claire, so you see another side of Claire as well. You see her in a marriage now, and how she deals with just being bored and not being useful, and you know, she's lady of the house now, and so she's not doing much, whereas Jamie's doing all the work, and so that was interesting. But you know, Claire obviously in the story she finds something to do, and there's always some conflict between them, but they always end up being, you know, back together. So that was a nice setup to the story. And there were some other nice interesting characters that popped up, and side characters actually make the story a bit more interesting. She writes really well, and it's the same sort of style of writing that she writes beautifully. So I have no complaints about her writing. And so in summary, I really enjoyed this book. It's not as good as the first one, but it's, you know, a sequel, so you sort of expect that. And I did like that it left on a cliffhanger. So as you read, then you like get this nice cliffhanger. You're like, oh yeah, I want to go get the next one. So I was at first a bit put off at the beginning of the book, but then, you know, it moved along and it got me back interested again. So you know, I do recommend you to read it. It's obviously not as good as the first one, but you know, it's still 4.5 stars out of 5 I would give it. So do pick it up and read it if you've read the first one. And thanks for watching the video, and please drop by at arlenesbookclub.com and check out our reviews, and you know, leave us a comment. Okay, so thanks very much for watching.